Managers, you know what time it is? It's our FFP time. This is game week 18, and quickly, as usual, let's take a look at the top three performers in game week 17. And so, at number one, we have Kevin De Bruyne for Manchester City against Leeds, where he managed to score 2 goals and got 16 points. Also, at number two, we had Roman Saiz for Wolves. He managed a goal, kept a clean sheet against Brighton. And then at number three, we had Riyad Mahrez from Manchester City against Leeds during their demolition, the 7-0 win, where he managed 13 points. He scored a goal and gave an assist. Those were our top three performers. Then the top transfers in this game week, we have Watkins for Aston Villa, Foden for Manchester City, Mason Mount for Chelsea, he has been performing well, Smith Rowe for Arsenal, and then Alexander Lacazette for Arsenal. Then top transfers out, we have Bernardo Silva for Manchester City, he went with a knock. And then we have Antonio for West Ham. Then we have Jamie Vardy for Leicester City. We have Cristiano Ronaldo from Manchester United, and then Conor Gallagher from Crystal Palace. Those are our top transfers out. Then we take a look at game week 18. It's a blank game week where we only have 5 matches scheduled. So we're gonna take a look at each match and the possible point scorers. So at number one, we have Aston Villa versus Burnley. Villa welcomes Burnley, and no doubt Aston Villa is gonna carry the day. So their goalkeeper Emi Martinez is one to look at, and then also their defender Troy Mings, he's been scoring this season. He is also one to watch out for. And then we have Watkins. He has been rejuvenated under Steven Gerrard, and I fancy he may continue with this form. Last game week he managed to score and give an assist. And then also lastly we have Konsa for Aston Villa, also a defender you may consider. And then we have Leeds versus Arsenal. Leeds welcomes Arsenal at Elland Road, and I'm gonna look at the Arsenal goalkeeper Aaron Ramsdale, who has been performing wonderfully well since signing for them. And then we have Smith Rowe after returning from injury. Last game week he managed to score. He's been very, very good. And then we have Rafinha for Leeds. Remember he scored remember he is a very good player, and he is the one on penalties. So Rafinha. And then we have Saka for Arsenal. He has been giving assists for fun, and I fancy he may continue with this form. And lastly we have Alexander Lacazette. Looks like he has secured a position at the Arsenal forward line, so you may consider Alexander Lacazette against a leaking Leeds side. And then we have at number 3 Newcastle versus Manchester City. The Pep Guardiola side has been flying high, so I'm gonna look at Kevin De Bruyne. He returned to the starting 11 and performed wonderfully well, so he may continue with his form. Then we have Ederson, the only player guaranteed a place in the first 11 of Manchester City. And also we have Phil Foden, Pep Guardiola's favorite son. I fancy he may start. And then Ike Gundogan, very underrated. He returned during game week 17 and managed to give an assist, I think 2 of them. So I fancy he may be starting in this one, so consider. And lastly we have Cancelo. Remember he rested versus Leeds because of the yellow cards he had accumulated, so he will be back in this one, so make sure you have him. He's gonna start. And then Wolves versus Chelsea, our match number 4, where I take a look at the Leeds goalkeeper Jose Sa. He has been making saves, and I fancy him to continue. And then also the Chelsea goalkeeper Edward Mendy. This is a game of 2 teams with good defense capabilities, and I fancy Mendy is also a good one. And then we have Reece James, the Chelsea defender. He gave an assist last game week, and I fancy he may continue with this form. And lastly we have Mason Mount. He can't stop scoring for Chelsea. So consider him. Lastly, match number 5, Tottenham versus Liverpool. After being hit with COVID, I hope and pray that Tottenham players play. Where I take a look at Salah for Liverpool. No doubt, captaincy, he can't stop scoring or giving points. And then we have Alexander Arnold. He scored in game week 17, and he's one to have. And then we have Serge Reguilon for Tottenham. I fancy he may perform in this one. And lastly, we have Jota for Liverpool. You can't miss him. So that is it for game week 18. Wish you all the best. You need it. Hakuna Matata.